What in God's name is happening in South Africa? What is happening in South Africa that every foreigner living now in South Africa, whether in Durban, whether in Johannesburg, is running helter-skelter for their life?
A warrior formation for a war on foreigners, marching across South Africa's cities to warn African immigrants here that it's time to leave.
The leaders of this march are saying that it's peaceful, but it doesn't feel peaceful. They're brandishing weapons.
South Africa is in the news and people are running for their life because if you're a Ghanaian, you're a Nigerian, you're from Zimbabwe, and you are living in any part of South Africa, please be safe out there. Here is GS24. We are going to look at what is happening in South Africa and go into details of what the real issues are. Make sure you hit the subscription button down there and hit the bell notification icon so that when I post anything, you'll be the first person to know.
A warrior formation for a war on foreigners, marching across South Africa's cities to warn African immigrants here that it's time to leave.
The leaders of this march are saying that it's peaceful, but it doesn't feel peaceful. They're brandishing weapons. They're in the heart of Johannesburg's central business district, making it clear to everyone here that they do not welcome African foreign nationals.
As the city's residents navigate through hundreds of protesters, they're targeted and attacked.
He just tasered him. Feels like a witch hunt. They keep pointing out people that they think may be foreign and then attacking them. We just saw a man get tasered on the side of the street. Are you stopping any acts of violence, or are you just organizing the march?
Even the lighter moments of this march are channeled at telling foreigners to get out. So what is fueling this aggression?
I'm unemployed. There's no employment. I can't find anything. Now we are focusing on the illegal foreign nationals. Yes, which are black Africans. That's why we are focusing on illegal foreign. Let me tell you, we go to a hospital, they are illegal foreigner occupying a hospital. You go to school, they are illegal foreigner.
Members of Operation Dudula, the military name of this xenophobic movement, can be seen entering the ground of this school earlier this year, harassing parents in front of their children, who they suspect are undocumented. In other instances, they've prevented foreign nationals from accessing healthcare. High unemployment and economic inequality has entrenched poverty in South Africa. But the country is still a refuge to Africans from across the continent, now seen by some here as unwelcome guests in a state of growing scarcity.
Listen, it is important that people try to understand the whole narrative. South Africa is at war, and they are at war with African countries who are living illegally.
We cannot maintain the whole of Africa. When you check the whole of Africa, if you go to school, you must pay for yourself. If you go for a clinic or a hospital, you pay for yourself. Why only South Africa? Out of 53 countries, it has to be a free for all. And we are the ones who are paying tax. Sanga Maposa and that criminal minister of police, they are stealing our taxpayers' money. All of them in the parliament. All of them, they are stealing our taxpayers' money. We must fork out our money and maintain the whole of Africa. We cannot maintain the whole of Africa. If they think we are causing xenophobia, they must go back to their countries. We don't want them anymore here. We fought with the white people for a very long time. Today, the very same economy, it has been inherited by the foreigners. The bona fide South Africans, We are not enjoying the economy that we fought for with the white people for a very long time. So for now, if somebody feels that South Africans are xenophobic, fuck off, back to your country, that's all. We don't want any shit of foreigners anymore. These girls who are sleeping with foreigners, they must never think they're going to control us. This is our country. We fought with the white people for a very, very long time with the white people. So all of them, they must go. And the Section 13 of 2002 is clear. People who should come here are those who are possessing rare skills. And the second people who are coming here, they must have 5 million plus. Those 30 million of foreigners, they don't have all those things. So now we must accept that those people, they must come and stay here and we must maintain them. No, we cannot maintain them. They must go to the nearest stand. They must go to the nearest stand.
So, sir, what do you want to see happening now? You know, there are concerns that whatever is happening could spark into something much bigger. And we could see the xenophobic attacks that we previously saw. What is going to happen with the situation? How do we get it under control?
The first thing, the Minister of Home Affairs must close the borders and deport them. The useless soldiers that are staying in our soldier camps, they must be dispatched around those fences.
According to what they are saying, African countries that are living illegally in their country called South Africa, they are moving on the street of Joburg, they are moving on the street of Durban, and they are attacking illegal foreigners living in their country. Watch some clearly, because see, it does not really make sense why people are condemning South Africans and why people are commenting and praising South Africa.
We helped a lot of black South Africans. They sought refuge here. Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, our first president, facilitated an environment where black South Africans felt safe when they were here. I'll never forget, I was at a filling station with my father. He was driving. I was a young man then. I think I was about 15 or 16 years old. And we were at the filling station at Northmead filling station. And a group of black South Africans walked past. And you could tell, I mean, of course I can tell now, but in those days I couldn't really tell the difference between a black South African and a Zambian. Of course, now I can do that. My father could tell, and he said to me, he says, "You see those people there? They're from South Africa. Be kind to them. Be welcoming to them. They are seeking independence from apartheid." Black Zambian parents taught us that. Now, fast forward to 2026, where you've got black South Africans killing other Africans in their country. It's the most ridiculous thing. Look, hey, I'm the first one to tell you, I'm against illegal immigrants. I think that illegal immigrants are a cancer in any society. But if a foreigner is there legally, they pay their taxes, they are a legal resident of that country, leave them alone. You can't walk. I mean, the videos that I'm seeing now are the most horrendous videos I have ever seen in my life. How in the world do you have a simple black South African walking around asking people about their immigration status? They're not immigration officers. They're not lawyers. They're nothing. They're just black South Africans. So how do you walk up to another black person, whether they be from Ghana, Nigeria, Zimbabwe, Zambia, just because you're black South African? What gives you the right to walk up to a person, for you to be the judge, jury, and executioner, and begin to ask a black person their immigration status? Something you will never do. You will never ask a Chinese man what his immigration status is. All those white South Africans that are holding your country's economy in their hands. 80% of South Africa's economy is in the hands of white South Africans. And here it is, you walking around trying to kill Zimbabweans, trying to kill Ghanaians, trying to kill Nigerians, trying to kill Congolese, trying to kill us. In the name of what? That we're stealing your jobs? Well, first of all, you're lazy as hell in your own country. The reason those Zimbabweans are taking over those jobs is because you jokers don't want to do those jobs. You don't. You feel too high and mighty to do it. And South Africa has spoiled you guys. You get housing, you get free housing. When you have children, the government pays you for that. Honey, we don't have that over here. You come to Zambia, when you have babies, you're going to have to pay for them. The government's not going to take care of your babies. But over there in South Africa, you've got this crazy, twisted way of thinking. And then you turn around and then start blaming us for your woes. When you know good and hell well, the reason the jobs are being taken away from you is because you're lazy as hell. You can't do those jobs. Why? Because you're too lazy in your own country, in your own territory. You know what you guys are doing? You're just looking for an excuse to kill people. That's all it is. I've seen these videos. You are just looking for an excuse to kill black people. You've got a problem with other black people. You don't have a problem with the Chinese. You don't have a problem with the white Boers. You don't have a problem with white South Africans. What you're saying, this is what Black South Africa says. Are you ready? Tell me you're ready, because I'll tell you, I'm sick and tired of these videos circulating on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. I'm sick and tired of it. You Black South Africans are beginning to adopt the mantra: if you're white, all right. If you're black, step back. What kind of craziness is that? On your own continent? If you're white, all right, but if you're black, step back. You Black South Africans have lost your minds. I agree. I echo Julius Malema when he says a Black South African will attack a Nigerian who has provided and created 100 black jobs. But the same Black South Africans are not going to attack a white South African because he's created jobs. You're a bunch of jealous people is what you are. You're crazy. You've lost your minds. You don't know your left from your right. And somebody needs to tell you. And I'll tell you something else, Black South Africa. I'll tell you something else. If the white Boers in South Africa, because first of all, you done run that country into the ground. Let's start there. Here it is, you've got all these Black South Africans running around the street talking about how our jobs are being stolen. You let a situation come about where white South Africans decide to leave the territory of South Africa. Already you have run that nation into the ground. But if the white South Africans decide to leave your country and leave it to you, South Africa will be a joke. It'll be a shadow of itself. It'll limp. Listen, it won't even have a voice. A bunch of self-righteous people. That's what you are, self-righteous. And somebody needs to tell you. Oh, I remember a time when I'd go to South Africa and I'd walk around thinking, oh, look at this country. Look at how beautiful it is. Not anymore. You jokers done run it into the ground. It's a shadow of its former self. Is what it is. And you ought to be ashamed of yourself when you go around killing other black people just because they're black. Listen, if they're an illegal immigrant, let immigration deal with it. If they don't have the papers, let immigration do it. If they're in trouble with the law, let the lawyers do it. Let law enforcement do their job. You can't walk around Black South African streets just because you're Black South African. You can't walk around, approach people and ask them their immigration status because you're black. How the hell is that going to work? Come on, man. Come on, man. What, Johannesburg, downtown Johannesburg? It's a mess. Downtown Johannesburg? You know why it's a mess? Because you Black South Africans have taken it over. It's a mess. And somebody needs to tell you. I mean, I don't want to go there anymore. I mean, you know, I remember a time when I would be excited about going to South Africa. Not anymore, honey. I'll think twice before I go to that country. They might lynch you over there. They might chop your head off. I'd rather stay here in my own country. Now, if that's the attitude Black South Africans, you know, this is the thing. Black South Africans have this thing where they say, go back to your country. Your country. And that's the other thing that just drives me nuts. Black South Africans can't say country. They say country. Did you guys even go to school, you jokers? It's country. It's not country. Go back to your country. Yeah, it's good and dandy for you to say that. Go back to your country. So how would you feel if we told you go back to your country? You know how many Black South Africans are here in Zambia? You have any idea? You don't even know, do you? Because you don't care. The black South Africans that are here in Zambia, none of us ever walk up to them and say, you're taking our jobs. We don't do that. Because we were taught better. Kenneth Kaunda opened the doors to black South Africans, and Kenneth Kaunda offered our country as a safe haven for you. Not heaven, haven. 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 A safe haven. A place where you can come and not worry at night. A place where you can come and lay your head on a bed and not worry about white Boer South Africans, not worry about apartheid. We gave you that space. We gave you that environment. But what do? You spit in our faces. You call us foreigner. You tell us to go back to our own country.
Let me know what you think in the comment section. Are South Africans being xenophobic, or are they protecting their country? What do you think? In the comment section.
Politics, no cap, just heat.